Welcome to the Mound City Council. It's Tuesday, July 28th, and can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have our agenda. Do we have any amendments? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, that passes. Number 4, we got public comments. If anybody wants to come up, now's your time. We'll give you 3 minutes to talk to the council. All right, hearing none, I'm going to close that. Number 5, we got the consent agenda. Does someone want to go through these items?
Well, I can go through them, but I have a question on number E.
Okay, let's pull E.
I don't know if it's worth pulling. I just have a question.
Well, if we're going to have discussion on it,
Okay,
you have to pull it.
all right.
Do you want to go through the rest of them, A through?
Sure. A, minutes of the July 14th City Council regular meeting. B, approve resolution 2649 to establish absentee ballot board. C, approve resolution 2650 and 2652, the compliance check failures at Harbor Wine and Spirits and Me Pueblo Express. D, approve resolution 2651 approving temporary 1 through 4 day liquor application and music permit for the 2026 Our Lady of the Lake Incredible Festival. And then E will pull just for a quick
Okay.
conversation.
All right, so A through D, anybody want to talk about any of those? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve A through D?
Motion to approve A through D.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Herrick,
Aye.
McEnany,
Aye.
Holt,
Aye.
Pugh, Castellano,
Aye.
All right, all that passed, so if you were here for any of that, A through D, it's approved. We got E, we're gonna pull, and that's pay request number 3 in the amount of $130,195.39 to American Liberty, Inc. for water treatment plant improvements, well 9 city project number PW 2511. What's your question on that?
Well, I just wanted to kind of point out that this is a little misleading because we don't have a water treatment plant yet. So it really should just be water treatment improvements. We haven't,
Or water improvements, or, yeah.
yeah, so
Infrastructure.
just so that's not misleading, it shouldn't say water treatment plant improvements.
Okay.
Water
We don't
treatment
have one.
infrastructure.
Yeah, water treatment improvements.
How about water infrastructure improvements?
Yeah,
Okay. So we're gonna rename that water infrastructure improvements. Can we do that?
Yeah.
All good? Okay. All right, so any other discussion on that? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve E?
motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed? All right, that passes. Number 6, we have presentations. We got A, Metropolitan Mosquito Control District updates. And we got, I think, Leila, you're going to kick it off?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Today, we have Alex Carlson, who is the Public Affairs Manager for the the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District. We had a conversation as staff with MMCD, who treats this area for gnats, ticks, mosquitoes, because they've had some challenging instances with Mound residents who don't quite understand maybe what their staff are out doing, and can sometimes be, aggressive or mean to MMCD staff. So we really want to work closely with the district to help educate our residents, make sure that they understand why they might see MMCD staff out in the field, as well as just give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about one of our partners who serves our community.
Cool. All right, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. Yeah, my name is Alex Carlson. I'm with Metropolitan Mosquito Control District. And yeah, and the goal of this presentation is just to provide some information about the type of work that we're doing out in the community, and then help all of you pass on the word to residents to make sure that they know how they can protect themselves, in addition to making sure that they're supporting the work that mosquito control does. So just a little bit of background. So we've been around since 1958, and we serve the 7 counties in the metro area. So we're a special taxing district. So every resident in those 7 counties supports mosquito control, and we serve all those areas, about 2,900 square miles. Our governance is the county commissioners. So for Hennepin County, it's Commissioners Kevin Anderson and Heather Edelson are on our board, and they're the ones that determine our budget, levy, operations, all that stuff. We have a lot of wetland habitats, over 88,000 just in the Twin Cities, and the funding comes from property taxes. So the median homeowner pays about $11 per year to support our programs throughout the Twin Cities. And those programs include comprehensive mosquito surveillance and control, going out with those long-handled dippers and looking for the larvae. Our main focus is on the larval control aspect. We do mosquito-borne disease suppression. That's really important this time of year, because in the later months of summer is when we start to see mosquito-borne disease start to make appearances. West Nile virus, La Crosse encephalitis, and a handful of others. And so that's really our goal, is to really protect public health. We also do tick-borne disease surveillance, public education, and black fly or biting gnat control. Go to the next slide. In Minnesota, we've got about 52 species of mosquitoes. Not all of them bite humans, not all of them carry diseases. So we really focus in on different threshold levels for different types of mosquitoes. We're only going to treat the ones that are biting humans, and then we focus primarily on the ones that are disease vectors that can potentially make humans sick. And so the mosquito life cycle is like this. So they spend most of their life cycle actually in the water. So they start off as eggs, and then their eggs hatch, usually when it rains, but it can also be any time that there's standing water about. And then they're in the water for about 1 to 2 weeks before they emerge as an adult mosquito. The ones that we know so well. This is what it looks like when we're out looking for larvae. So our staff every day are on the ground doing what we call larval surveillance. So you'll see our staff in their bright yellow high-vis vests that say Public Health Mosquito Control on the back. And they're out with these dippers looking for areas just like this. That little dip, a little scoop of water had about 50 mosquito larvae in that. And you see that's not a very big area. So you multiply that by a many acre wetland or swamp, and you can imagine how we have our work cut out for us. So we collect a lot of data through larval surveillance, but we also do adult surveillance. We set up traps throughout the Twin Cities that lure in and collect mosquitoes. We also have volunteers like myself. I get to go out to my yard every Monday night with a net and wait for the mosquitoes to come to me. And then I sweep over my head and around my feet for about 2 minutes and collect them all. It's another way to do scientific research and figure out what mosquitoes are actually out there in a given week. I look weird to my neighbors, but it's for science. We collect a lot of data to drive our program. We send all our samples back. You can go to the next slide. To an entomology lab based in St. Paul, we have several full-time entomologists as well as seasonal staff that come on to identify all the samples. So we're not doing any treatments until we've identified that these are human-biting mosquitoes, and then we focus on the disease vectors and then the nuisance mosquitoes kind of secondarily. We do have the ability to test for West Nile virus at our entomology lab as well. Go ahead to the next slide. And then we come out and do control methods. So a lot of people know us because of our helicopters flying over ponds and marshes. For those large areas, helicopters are the most effective way to do it. We've also been using drones on kind of the smaller to medium-sized wetlands, and then we do a lot of ground treatments. So we're going out and treating areas by hand as well for the really small, like kind of drainage ditches and things like that that are too small for the drone or the helicopter. But we focus on larval control for a couple reasons. One, it's easier to get to them when they're all in the water versus adult mosquitoes, which will be everywhere. During the day they hide out under homes and in wooded areas and stuff like that. It's really hard to get to them. Whereas when they're in a breeding site or a wetland or an area of standing water, they're all in one spot. But the most important reason we do larval control is because the materials we use are very targeted to mosquitoes. There's no non-target impacts on humans or pets, and it's very limited harm to other insects or aquatic animals. It's very specific to those aquatic larvae. It's got the bacteria on the materials disrupts the gut of a mosquito larva, and they have an alkaline gut, which affects them more uniquely than any other species. So it's a very safe, effective way to do widespread mosquito control. You can go ahead to the next slide. But another big part of our work is public messaging about source reduction. So our job is to focus on the big wetlands, on the big marshes and the big swamps, but then we rely on residents to help with their backyards. So if you have anything that can hold standing water, that can become a mosquito habitat. And a year like this year, when we've had drought conditions, it's even more important than ever to reduce that standing water because mosquitoes are on the hunt for for any water that they can find. And so this is where we sometimes will do alley inspections or property notices, or we'll take reports from residents if they're noticing, stagnant water that shouldn't be there. We do tire recycling to remove, piles of tires, which become really good mosquito habitat. And then we just promote public education, telling people, if you have a rain barrel, cover it up. If you have a bird bath, put fresh water in. If there's stuff you want water in, just make sure you keep it clean. But then anything else that's holding water that's not clean, fresh water is going to become mosquito habitat. So that's really important that people are aware of that, and they're doing everything they can to protect themselves and then their neighbors as well. Because one of the big diseases that we're concerned about is lacrosse encephalitis, and there has been activity in the past couple of years in kind of the southwest metro. Carver County and Hennepin County have had cases just in the past couple of years. This is spread by a species called the tree hole mosquito. They really like human habitat. They get their name because they develop in tree holes, but they've also kind of evolved to develop in tires and buckets and catch basins and things like that. And this species carries a disease that affects young children. So lacrosse encephalitis is very dangerous for kids under the age of 16 are the most susceptible. Usually we find out about a case because a kid ends up in the hospital. It can be very deadly, very dangerous. It's one we want to protect people from at all costs. Go ahead to the next slide. And this species really they've really kind of evolved to develop in our garbage. So anytime that there's properties that have a lot of tire piles or any waste that can hold rainwater or just any kind of stagnant water, that becomes habitat for this type of mosquito. And so that's why we send staff out to look at areas where we've gotten reports that there might be a lot of activity, and we'll put door hangers on people's doors and try to encourage people to reduce any of the standing water on their property to just protect their community. Keep going. We have a lot of resources for residents at our website. So if you want to know about what activity we're doing, we're very public. We don't hide anything. So we have maps. You can click and view all of the sources where we view, where we treat for mosquito larvae. You can see live updates on when we were last there, what treatments were done, what mosquitoes were found, things like that. You can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter with a weekly mosquito snapshot. It's called the Weekly Buzz. And it just kind of gives you a picture of the mosquito activity that given week. But we have lots of cool data related to mosquitoes on our website. Go ahead to the next slide. And then we have interactive maps where people can zoom into different areas and kind of click around and see, where the mosquito habitat is in your area. So a lot of people are surprised, you think it's the large lakes or big ponds, but a lot of times it's the smaller areas that are more likely to produce mosquitoes. So areas outlined in red are our highest mosquito producers. Yellow is kind of either medium mosquito producers or or produce only certain mosquitoes that come out certain times of year. And then blue sites don't produce mosquitoes. And then there's a couple others too that are like drone sites as well. Go ahead to the next slide. This is where you can sign up for email alerts, which I already mentioned. And then we do a lot of public outreach. So we like to go out into events. So if you know any event that we should participate in, it's a good way for us to get the message out to residents to make sure that they're protecting themselves. We hand out tick ID magnets and mosquito residence guides for people to protect their properties. There's our giant mosquito that sometimes makes appearances in parades. And there in the foreground is our mascot. Her name is Victoria. So she shows up occasionally around town. So if you know of any event that we should attend, let us know. And with that, I would like to open it up for any questions you might have.
All right, does council have any questions?
Well, I appreciate every time I hear a Minnesota mosquito helicopter going over, because I know what you're doing. But I actually do have a question. Have you had any Lone Star tick sightings?
Thank you, Councilmember McEnany. That's a very good question. This year we have not. So we did last year, but we have not found any this year. So we still suspect there's probably a few of them around. They don't survive our winters, and we had a couple hard freezes this last year. And so any that we're going to find this year would have traveled up on a bird or on an animal that migrated north. So we haven't found any yet, but that doesn't mean there's not any around.
That's good to hear. I like beef too much
Yeah.
to get attacked by one of those. Thank you, and thanks for all you do.
Yeah.
So when you're helicopter spraying, I know you probably hear them too.
Oh, yeah,
They're, because when you showed the lake, we live on that lake. And it's like World War III when that happens. It's like, what the hell's going on? And of course, you never know when they're coming. And you're bopping down and up and down. And then, Katie and I were on a walk the other day, and I'm like, the other day, like maybe a month ago, whatever it was. And I was like, should we be breathing right now? So tell me, make me feel better.
Yeah, so thank you, Mayor Holt. So when our helicopters are dropping, they're dropping dry granules, first of all, so they're not any liquid spray.
Oh, okay.
So you would notice if the materials landed near you, because they look like little pieces of corn. They actually are ground up corn cob with a bacteria attached to it. So the bacteria lands in the water and then it activates. And then when that bacteria is in the water, the larva that's filter feeding will feed on that bacteria, and it's toxic to them. But it's not harmful to fish or other animals that are in the water. There's no health effects for humans or pets or anything like that. So it's completely safe for people. And like I said, you'd notice it if you came in contact with it, little pellets that land in the water.
That's really helpful. I really thought it was a mist.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I think we all did probably, so.
Yeah, well, glad I'm here.
Maybe on our social, Layla, maybe you can show a picture of what actually you drop out of the sky.
Yeah, absolutely.
That really is helpful.
Yeah.
Do you know in advance when you're going to be in the area?
Yeah, so you can sign up, when you sign up for email alerts, you can also sign up for activity alerts. So you can go to our website and you check the county you want to be notified about. And then whenever we're doing helicopter activity the day before, we'll send a notification for that city. So we do citywide. We don't do site by site, but it'll be for the whole city. So if you sign up for Hennepin County, you'll get a notification if we're going to be in Mound the day before we do our helicopter treatments.
Yeah.
So
Mayor.
when we get the alert, we should send out a thing too.
Yeah, Mayor, members of the council, we've worked with the MMCD to do some posts already this summer just to help with their outreach efforts. And then we've talked about working collaboratively to use the RAVE system to notify residents of their activity here. They may do a targeted approach at some point for some of our areas where they will be going door to door and working with residents, so utilizing RAVE for that as well to make sure residents have a pretty good notice about that. I think we'll do a newsletter feature for them in the next quarterly newsletter as well.
Cool. Are you spraying any more through the end of the summer here now? Or?
It really is going to depend on rain, and we haven't had a lot of it lately.
Okay.
So you probably haven't seen our helicopters in a couple weeks because it's been so dry. So when it rains more than an inch, that's usually enough to trigger the next brood of mosquitoes. We will be out just doing what we call our vector work, where we're checking for those areas that are kind of smaller that are holding those mosquitoes that are flying in and laying their eggs. But for the large broods of mosquitoes that are treated by helicopter, it'll probably be not until the next time it rains, a significant amount.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions?
I can't believe someone would be upset with you after finding out what you're doing. But no, thank you.
Thank you,
I can't
Councilmember
imagine being
Castellano.
upset that people are doing mosquito control.
I was never even like upset too, but I was just like, should I be walking under this helicopter right now?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a mist or like a water substance or something. And I was like, I don't want to breathe. So I'm glad that you just said that. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, number 6B, we got introduction to the 2027 budget. We got Erdman.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I'm Lindsay Erdman, the Finance Director, and this evening I will be just giving an overview of the budget process for this year. So we'll be going over the parts that make up the budget, giving you a status update of budget preparation, as well as what the next steps are in the process. So we're just going to start with the basics to make sure that the council members as well as the public have a shared understanding of what makes up a city budget. So we can really think about it in two parts. So we have our expense side and our revenue. So our expenses are everything that it costs to run the city and provide basic city services. So we have staffing or personnel costs. So that's not only wages, but benefits, our retirement benefits as well. Our non-personnel expenses, so that's like everything else. So office supplies. We don't have helicopters, but other like vehicles and the building that we work out of. All those things cost money, and so we have to budget for them every year. And then debt service for our bonding or for our capital projects. And then we have the revenue side. So what money does the city bring in to pay for these expenses? The city's largest revenue source is our property taxes. So that is residents, individual homes, commercial properties that pay into the tax system to fund their city services. We also get some intergovernmental aid for like very specific uses. And then next we have permits, license, and charges for services. So like if you're building a deck, you have to get a permit, and I believe that permit costs money. I hope that one does, but that's just an example, right? Like that is a way that the city brings in revenue. Also, utility billing is another good example of charges for services. And then interest income. So any money sitting in the bank, the city can make money off of that money to like offset the property taxes that we need. Transfers. So this is really like interfund transfers from our, what we call our general fund is how we pay for governmental services versus our enterprise funds, which are our like water, sewer utilities that the city runs like as a business. And so we may transfer money between those funds and that acts as a revenue source. And then we also have special assessments where the city like levies an additional cost on a property to pay for work, like sidewalks, for example, or street repair. Any questions about that? Okay. All right, so there are many concurrent steps in developing a budget. So first, finance staff prepare department budgets. So we're looking at the personnel budgets, what was spent last year, what is needed this year, updating costs like to insurance, eye care, benefits like that, as well as estimating inflators for cost of living, which is pretty standard. Then we look at non-personnel budgets of like one-time costs that are removed because the budget, the base budget funds items that are year over year. And so we remove those one-time costs to understand what is the basic level of service that is provided. Then I am working with vendors to get any type of like cost increases, whether it's to benefits or just like contractual services. So the city contracts for attorney services, and we'll work with that vendor to understand like, do you expect cost increases in the next year, so we can plan for that and we're not surprised if and when they come the following year. And so then the finance department is also working with department heads to review the budgets because they have that subject matter expertise and bring that lens to budget preparation. So we'll go over the personnel data again together to make sure everything looks correct. Are we budgeting for people at the correct steps? So as well as for like correct insurance and things like that. And then we can make any line item changes that have like a net zero impact. And then lastly, we'll prepare any budget proposals for increased spending needs. So if the budget just theoretically is $100, but the department head is like, I need $150 to provide this service next year, we need to justify that $50 increase. So we want to know why, what is it going to do, what's the expected outcome. And then we're also working on completing analyses. So we look at line item level spending from prior years to inform recommendations. We're looking for trends. Maybe there's also anomalies in spending because of a given project. And then also completing a fee study, of business licensing and permitting. So with business licensing and permitting, the city can use a cost recovery model to do that work, meaning we break even. So if we're not breaking even, we would subsidize that work with general fund or property tax dollars. And then we're also updating our indirect cost allocation model or administrative cost sharing, a lot of different terms for the same thing. And then using this information to determine the levy amount based off of all these expenses we've gone through and other revenues that we expect. So once we have all of that information together, and that's kind of all happening at the same time, we put this together to build the budget, to make sure that these plans align with the city's financial management plan, or long-term financial management plan is another name for it. And then we present that, as staff, present that draft budget to the city manager to make sure that any priorities from the city council that they're aware of are incorporated, and make any changes before we bring the budget to the public or to city council. So staff will present a budget to the council and gather feedback. as well as make any changes before the final budget is brought back to the city council for this body to certify that proposed levy. And so after that initial presentation, staff will work with the city council to mark up the budget, and that just means to make any changes they'd like to see and like how that math comes out to finally certify the levy and adopt the budget in that. All right, so kind of looking ahead to the future, we're going to continue working on budget development of gathering all of that data and validating the data essentially from now until September. I am working with staff to complete a fee study to make sure that we are breaking even on our business licensing. And I will work with departments to finalize their budgets as well as finalize the capital budget. And then I'll present that to the city manager and finance committee in late August, early September, before it's brought to the public and full council on September 8th. So that will be when we will have budget numbers available. And then there will be a final recommendation on the budget to the city council on September 22nd. This is when the council will vote to certify the proposed levy amount. So that's the maximum the city can levy. Doesn't necessarily mean the city will levy that amount, but it is saying this is the maximum we estimate we will need. And we'll provide an update to the financial management plan at that time as well, and how it looks with the recommended budget built into it. And so then from the end of September until November, staff will engage with the council to incorporate and make any necessary changes, and residents are also encouraged to reach out to their council members during this time and the mayor to let them know like what their priorities are. And then we will be back on October 13th to provide a utility rate study update, what that would look like under a possible water treatment plan. And then we will adopt the budget late November, early December. And that is all I have. Any questions?
Does council have any questions? All right.
Thank you,
Take it off
Lindsay.
easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 6C, we got Harbor Wine and Spirits update. You want to kick it off?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of the council. I'm Deputy City Manager Layla Meehy. I was not planning to be sitting here, but unfortunately, Manager Dixon had a death in the family, so he's not able to be present this evening. So I'm going to assist our store manager, Sarah Peterson, from back here, but we will kind of co-present. So Sarah's going to join us at the dais.
Welcome. How are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Good, good. You can move the thing, there you go.
Okay. All right. Hi, I'm Sarah Peterson, new store manager at Harbor Wine and Spirits. This is my first city council meeting ever. I've lived in Mound for 11 years, so this is all very new. Yeah, how do we start?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, we had heard from several council members just wanting an update on Harbor Wine and Spirits, kind of what is going on. We've had some staffing turnover there, including Sarah taking on the role of store manager earlier this spring. And she is going to talk a little bit about those staffing changes, as well as some kind of current trends and what's happening here at Harbor Wine and Spirits. So I'll turn it over to Sarah, and then we'll talk a little bit about the budget as well.
Cool.
Awesome. So since taking over, we have lost a couple people, and obviously had to fill my position and Ron Gust's position.
Yeah.
So we were able to get an assistant manager. Her name is Melissa Erstad. She comes from Breakthrough Beer. She sold all 40 stores around this area, so she knows the going of what sells and what doesn't sell. She's amazing. She's a great person, easy to work with, fun to be around. So she brings a good light to the store. Yeah, she's super fun. So great that we work so well together. We've worked together for years, so this is a perfect position for her. And then a couple part-time employees, we ended up bumping up our shift lead to a full-time position as well, so just to cover our bases and So now we have a third full-time person, which is amazing, because then everything is covered, which is great. This is the busiest summer that we've had in a really long time because of the weather and being so dry and being a boating town, so we are constantly busy. There's not one day that is better than another. All days are great. So it's a really good thing, and I don't feel like I'm drowning anymore because I do have the support and the help, and everybody in this town has been so helpful and so kind and understanding of the transition and everything that has been going on. So it's great. I'm very happy.
Besides the 3 full-time, how many part-time do you have?
Right now we have 6.
6.
Yes. Yeah.
And what, is that what you need to run the store?
Yes. Yeah. About
That's
that.
fully staffed?
Yeah, that's fully staffed.
Good.
We are fully staffed at the moment, which is so nice and
Keep-
such
keep
a
it that way.
relief. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
All right.
Have you noticed your extended hours have been good for profitability, and are the residents enjoying that?
So the residents haven't caught on yet. I have it posted everywhere around the store. Between 9 and 10 on any given Friday and Saturday, we will have maybe 5 to 10 people come through the store.
Well, old
So-
habits die hard.
Yes, so they're so
So-
used to it. I mean, I have it posted on every register, I have it posted on the windows, right by the hours, everything. But the problem is that we do have it written on the door. So I posted a sign next to it, but, I mean, I honestly, myself, I haven't noticed
Okay.
very much of a difference. We're just paying people to be there is
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Which
Most
is
people.
why you decreased the hours in 2020 to begin with.
Right, yes, yeah, well, and that was because of COVID and, and everybody was afraid at that time, and so we just bumped it back up to 8 o'clock instead of 7, because we were closing at 7 during the COVID time, so we pushed it back to 8 o'clock and didn't see much of a difference.
Can we
But-
do anything on the website or something to promote that they've extended the hours?
We did do that too.
And that didn't,
Yeah, unfortunately, most people in this area are already where they're going to be at that time. So, I mean, they're not really thinking, in my experience, because I did work there when it was open till 10 o'clock. I was the closing shift lead for Fridays and Saturdays, and most of the time, between that 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I was just cleaning up broken bottles. Yeah. Lots of Carbonis crowds and,
Yeah.
coming over and swinging around purses and having it the time of their lives and not really, all the glass. So,
Well, just so everybody knows what we're talking about, right now, we're currently open till 8.
yes.
In the summer, we've requested to be open till 9.
Yeah,
It's been a
from-
request for 2 years that hasn't been done, so
Yeah.
I appreciate you at least trying it,
Yeah,
for one thing.
absolutely. I'm willing to try anything, really.
No, I
Yeah.
100% appreciate it, because it
Yeah.
wasn't felt like that before.
Right.
So I
Yes.
appreciate you listening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is if we keep doing it or not, but, through the end of summer, I think it'd be interesting to see what the numbers are.
Yeah.
What you're spending for staff.
Sure.
But then also how much you've made and, what the numbers look like. And then we can, kind of figure out what makes sense going forward, if it's a summer thing or if it's, I've had many people complain.
Yeah, yeah.
Why the hell do you close at 8 on a Friday and Saturday? And it is crazy.
Yeah.
And they all go to MGM.
Yeah.
That's just where they go. That's
Yeah.
the closest around here.
And I know they don't want to do that.
No.
No, they don't.
Well, yeah,
I
and
hear about
people
all
want to
that.
support.
They don't want to do that.
They want to support our town.
Yes,
And,
of course.
if you're in Minnetrist, you got to go right past you to go
Yes.
to, not well in Minnetrist, you got a liquor store there now too, but that probably doesn't help either. But anyway, yeah, we're just glad that you're, trying and.
Yeah, I'm
so
happy to try
appreciate
new
that.
things that haven't been tried in the past, because I came from a bartending background, so I've always kind of been in this business, so
Yeah.
just seeing the way that this part works is much better I like this part better. Yeah.
So Layla, I just checked on maps on my phone. It still says you're only open till 8, so we might want to figure out how to get that updated.
Oh, Google or two? Google.
and
Yeah.
on the door.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's hard, getting the metadata and get that straightened out, but we definitely want to take a look at that, because I know I use that for businesses.
Yeah.
And there's a thing you can hit, and it drops down and tells you the
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
throughout the week, and it still says 8.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. Good suggestion.
Yeah, we can get that.
It's tough to change it, I get it, but yeah.
A lot of people, when they're buying, beer or whatever, you don't give them a bag all the time, but maybe if you had like a little handout, hey, we're open till 9 Friday, just say that only.
Sure.
Maybe get the word out a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more wine, I guess, if you put it in a bag or something, but I
Well-
don't know how many bags you give out.
A
but-
lot.
Or maybe even just say, hey, just so you know, as a cashier,
people like to keep their neighbors guessing about what's in the bag, so. They request a bag, just because it's fun, right?
Well, we're just city council people, so don't
Yeah.
listen to us. but
No,
Do what
no,
works.
this is good.
What kind of trends you got going on?
The top selling SKU of the summertime is Surfside and Sun Cruiser. They're direct competition with each other, nonstop. Can't keep them in stock. It's pretty awesome.
What brand is that?
They're both different brands, but they're non-carbonated seltzers.
Oh.
Yeah, so like a vodka-based drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those have just exploded this summer,
Really?
taking over High Noon by far, which High Noon has always been in the past, like the top selling, but
Right.
yeah, so ready to drinks is what people want right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's fun, but it's also sad for the beer side and the wine side, because those are kind of declining. But, I mean, beer has been slowly declining for the past few years. So it's kind of craft beer, all the breweries closing and all of that kind of stuff. And THC has taken over.
Yeah.
So I'd say ready to drinks and THC are where it's at right now.
So when I first started, I got a tour of the whole place and then the basement. If anybody hasn't done this, especially council,
I did.
it's pretty interesting how much inventory we have.
Oh, it's a lot to keep track of.
So how do
Yeah.
you, what's your thought maybe compared to how it was run before? I mean, do you like to have a lot of inventory? How do you figure all that out?
So there is a way in the system that we can run the numbers. So if it makes sense to, usually the distributors come in with big deals, like they want you to buy 25 cases of Svedka.
yeah.
That way you can have the Svedka on hand, but you can also sell it for a decent price.
Right.
And it's gonna fly out of there. So, that's really just, depending on the deals that you can buy for the margin, that's typically what would just run the numbers.
Right.
You can check the numbers from the past few years even, through the keystroke system. So that's kind of what I've been taught to do and what
Yeah.
I'm continually doing now.
Okay.
It's all there. It's all data
Yeah.
there. So,
Nice.
yeah.
We were lucky to get you to fill in after Ron left, and lucky that you were here for so long with your expertise
Yeah, thank
to
you.
kind of take things over.
Yeah.
How'd everything go at Spirit of Lakes?
It went well, yes. We only ran out of a couple cocktails, which, it was the ready to drinks. Of course, you
Yeah.
can't really plan for that, because the trends have changed. But it went really well, I think. It was
Great.
successful, yeah. I had fun. Now I know what to expect for next year, which is good because I kind of walked into it blindly. I had only been a part of the Meet Your Maker organization last year, was my first year doing it. And that was just, reaching out to my vendors and trying to get them set up to come and be a part of it. But now doing the whole thing was a lot, but
Great job. It
Yeah,
was
thank you.
another great event, and
Yeah.
thank
it was
you.
perfect weather for those who drink.
Right, yes, 100%. I'm so thankful that the people that had been organizing the event, they knew,
Yeah.
and they were so helpful and so full of knowledge, and they knew what they needed, and I just helped them along.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
I don't think so.
Are we done? Oh,
Mayor, members of the council, we
Yeah.
just, we know that the profitability and how things are going from a financial standpoint is also of interest to the council. So, as you know, with some recent departures in our finance department, we're still quite understaffed. And so the most recent numbers that we have the months closed for are through March. So we did want to just show where we're sitting compared to March 2026. So about 2% under where we were from March 2025 to March 2026. That's on trend. Most categories are somewhere between 2 and 9% down nationally. So I think that's about what we would expect to be compared to other liquor stores. That said, we've had a great summer. So I think once we have the rest of the months closed, we'll be having Eller's close the rest of the months over the next few weeks. And as we head into the budget process, we'll have more updated numbers to see how summer has hopefully evened this out for us. But as you can see here, beer continues to be down, but we've seen some growth in our wine and liquor, which is great. And then some of our other merchandise is down, but that's again it's It's kind of some of the weirder stuff like shot glasses, cups, ice, things like that. Not surprising that it would be 12% down in this period because a large portion of that is ice. And so these are our colder months. So once we have more updated numbers, we'll bring those back. I know that's something that you guys have missed seeing in your packets. And as we get our finance staff back established, we'll be able to bring that forward.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, we already did that. Cool. All right, we're good?
Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you,
Sarah.
appreciate it.
Councilman. Thank you.
Congrats. All right, number 7, we do not have a public hearing. Number 8, we don't have old business. Number 9, council introduction 4851 Shoreline Drive. We got Smith coming up.
Good evening, Mayor Holt, members of the council. I'm Sarah Smith. I'm the development director, and I will be introducing a council introduction that will be held tonight by the council to hear a presentation from Katie and Rob Stewart. And I think we also have a representative of the property owner here, Jan Knutson. And they are proposing to share their thoughts on a proposed reuse of the building and property at 4851 Shoreline Drive on the east side of town. That would encompass boat and marine sales and display, as well as related servicing and maintenance type of activities on the west side of the building by Stewart Boats and Boards. And then the east side of the building would be used by the property owner, Anders Knutson, for general office and related uses. Because a conditional use permit will be required for the marine sales and open storage, we are going to hear the council introduction this evening. That is a council policy. An additional application or request would also be required to deem marine-related maintenance and service activities to be same and similar to the definition of minor automotive repair. And that's in the zoning ordinance. That is a permitted use as automotive repair. And the evaluation would be to determine that the activities surrounding what we call servicing and winterizing and springizing boats and related activities to be similar to the definition of minor auto repair in the zoning ordinance. So with that, I'll be happy to answer questions. Otherwise, I know the Stewart family is here, and I think Jan Knutson is here as well. Prior to tonight's meeting, we also sent out a notice to all folks within 350 feet. That's in the council's policy, and that was done 10 days prior to tonight. And I know the Stewart family has also been meeting with their neighbors and sharing their proposal for the reuse of the property. So with that, I'll answer questions, or we can have the property owner and the tenants come up.
Okay. Any questions, or should we have let's go forward? Yeah. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All you, or just one of you, two of you?
I think 2 of us.
All right, come on up and give us your name and address.
Yep. I'm Rob Stewart.
Okay?
I'm Katie Stewart. Our home address is 4680 Palmer Court in Excelsior.
Okay.
We also have our kids Tyler and Ava with us tonight. They are both professional wake surfers and world champions, so we're pretty proud of them.
Congrats.
But together as a family, we have also been brand ambassadors for Centurion Boats and Supreme Boats since about 2019. Are you running the, first of all, thank you for having us also, forgot that part. Can I have you skip ahead?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you. So we are the new Centurion and Supreme dealer here in the Twin Cities. The dealership who was carrying the brands before lost their opportunity to do that. So we saw an opportunity to step in as brand ambassadors. We've been working with that dealership for a number of years, as well as the factory. These boats are based in California. So we threw our hat in the ring to be the next dealer, and we were selected. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the brands, but both Centurion and Supreme boats are premium towboats. Centurion just celebrated its 50th anniversary, And they are owned by Correct Craft, who owns a number of other brands, including Nautique Boats, which probably you've heard of. They just celebrated their 100th anniversary as well. So, next. So our mission as people who love boating and the lifestyle that goes with that is to do more than just sell boats. Our mission really is to build lasting relationships with our customers, bring people together. The sport of wake surfing has provided like just an unbelievable number of opportunities for our children, our family. So we really feel passionate about what the sport can do, and just, you know, being on the water and getting to know your neighbors on the lake. And, you know, it's been such a blessing to us. So we really want to incorporate that same feeling into our dealership. We don't really want to be just selling people boats. So, you know, we really want it to be more of a family type of situation. So, next, thank you. So in addition to the obvious boat sales and parts and service, we would like to have some water-related accessories. Both Tyler and Ava have pro model surfboards and life jackets that they've developed with national brands, actually worldwide brands. So we will have some of those items. However, we won't be primarily focused on, you know, selling like a huge volume of accessories. And then in addition to that, we really want to be able to instruct our customers, not just with how to drive the boat, but also how to get the most out of their wave and learning how to wake surf and be responsible drivers on the lake, and, you know, all of those things that go along with boating. And then eventually at some point down the road, we would hope to have some type of off-site storage, but that would not be a focus at this point for us now. So why 4851 Shoreline? Jan has been working with us.
I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
We started Gear West in Long Lake.
You want to come up and...
I'm Jan Gunther Knudsen. We started Gear West in Long Lake from nothing 33 years ago. I'm finally moving out of it and have a little bit of time, and my son Anders and I we've lived in Mound and Minnetrista for 30 years, and I'm finally seeing some growth here. And I struggled in Long Lake when we started in 500 square feet, when Long Lake was fairly, you know, was not very busy. And we've built a community with Gear West, and it's something I really have loved. And even as now moving out of it somewhat, I would love to try to put a little energy and life along with the other businesses that are starting to happen in Mound, so we can have that same kind of spark that I think we brought to Long Lake. So we're always determined to keep a clean, organized, and attractive building. We've been cleaning it up already. We put out a new fence. My son sprays all the weeds. We've done what we can with a bland sort of building, and we hope to add some more attractiveness and life to that area with being respectful to our neighbors.
Cool. Thank you.
So, yeah, this building for us seems to be a natural fit, not just the location in Mound, which obviously you're in the heart of Lake Minnetonka, so that's obvious. We also see the building really fitting our needs perfectly as is. We don't see that we will need to make any changes at all to the inside or outside. So we really like this because we can just focus on building the business and not worrying about having to do a bunch of remodeling and investing in things that aren't gonna really get us up and going quickly. So so these boats are high ticket items, so I think if we're successful, that helps the community as well. We think we can operate there in a way that really has minimal impact on the neighbors. We, as Sarah mentioned, spoke to a good number of the neighbors. We went door to door the other night, and we're really excited and just feeling reassured that we got such positive feedback from everybody. Like, nobody had even a single concern or question. So that was really nice to feel so welcomed, and everybody really wished us the best and were excited for us. So that's that slide. So to reiterate what Jan said, we really would hope to focus on being respectful neighbors, keeping everything clean and orderly and professional, and to work with you all in a positive way to benefit the community. So.
Cool.
More specifically, our activities starting in the front lot, really it's just going to be customer parking, and then access to the front office spaces. We would hope to have some signage on the front of the building. The front offices will be used primarily for meeting with potential customers. Like I mentioned, some accessories on display. Mostly the boat sales will be appointment based. It's not a high traffic type of situation where there's a lot of cars coming and going all day. So I think the traffic should be minimal. And the garage bay, there's two equal halves of the building. So they're intending to use theirs for their operations, and then ours would be kind of a combination of a couple boats on display for sale and then a couple being serviced at any particular time. Generally, we would be looking at, basic boat maintenance, diagnostics, winterization, warranty repairs, accessory installations, nothing that's intrusive or environmentally unsafe, or, it's not like your typical automotive dealer or mechanic who's making big messes and that sort of thing. So typically it's, a pretty clean service space and relatively quiet and not intrusive, I think is what I'm trying to say. And then most of the work will be completed indoors during normal hours. There could be some times where we wouldn't need to necessarily even bring a boat inside to do a particular repair or installation. If you could move to the next one, thank you. We think could be times where, a boat could get dropped off in the back lot and we could just take care of whatever it is right there. Or there are times where for sure they'll need to be moved into the garage bay, but that back lot would be used more for kind of just staging. Customer brings their boat in, drops it off, we move it in. Perhaps we need to order a part, so maybe it might get moved back out till the part comes. So it's going to be more of just a staging area, and possible some, depending on how many boats we have in inventory, there could be some for sale out there as well. But again, not intended to be a storage lot. Spring and fall are going to be the busiest times. Winter shouldn't be really very busy at all in the back area, and then summer, probably average type of traffic. Let's see. I kind of mentioned already a little bit about additional lessons. There'll be times where we'll be using the boat landing down the road and taking customers out on demos or, giving various lessons. But, as a whole, our goal really is to just provide valuable services to local boat owners in a convenient, accessible way in the heart of Lake Minnetonka. So I think should be the end. Can you think of anything that I missed?
The last slide.
You got it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah.
Could you pull up the GPS? Well, cool. Thanks for coming out. And
Mm-hmm.
what made you decide to get into this work?
It's a
The
unique
opportunity
experience.
has presented itself and we felt like the stars have aligned and we needed to take the opportunity to see what we can do. So,
Nice.
yeah, as I mentioned, it's been such a huge part of our lives. It's just in our hearts, we feel like this is the next step, so,
Cool.
yeah.
So there's 2 garage bays, right?
Yes,
Now, are you only going to be using the one?
yes.
Did you say that they're going to use the other one?
Correct.
Yep, to start with,
Usually for storage.
Okay.
yeah,
So you're only really using that one bay?
correct, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how many, can you put a couple boats for sale inside of that and use it as a bay?
I think we figured you could easily get 4 boats in there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. If you were just showing boats, you probably could get more. You could tuck them in there.
If you're
tighter.
not going in and out all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with service, you're typically working on a boat, you need a part, you need to call a customer, move it forward, bring in
Yeah.
another one to work on, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking it'll be.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know you could get so many boats in there to show. That's great.
Yeah, it depends, we have several different models with different lengths,
Right,
so it
right.
depends on which
Yeah.
model it is,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
And then, even the back area, once we get it up here, we'll show you. But, I don't know, we'll all kind of chime in here, but,
Sure.
there it is. So the one where the pointer's on, that's the one you're gonna be using on the right
That'll be the
side?
one
The left side,
Oh, the left, sorry,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So the left, the darker.
Yep.
right there,
that
yes.
one, Okay, but you're still gonna utilize that whole parking lot in the back there?
Correct, for the
Yeah.
most part.
For the most part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
You don't have to live-
Kingston's don't
live at low
really have a
access.
need for any of the back
Okay.
parking lot.
Okay. And so you might have a handful of boats or employee parking? or
Yeah, so
this or
we
that.
mapped out, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's in the packet that you sent out, but we kind of mapped out what we thought would make good sense for parking.
Yeah, I think I can talk to that pretty good, but there's a fence along that left side.
Yep, yep.
I believe you can get about 9 or 10 boats backed up there
With the trailer
with the trailer
sticking out?
pointing to the right.
Oh.
Probably
okay.
a few cars can be parked by the building for your employees.
Yep.
And that's mainly what I think is staged work to be done. Maybe a couple of new boats that would be sitting out there, maybe you'd have a used boat that was a trade-in.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of a constant movement of those changing.
Oh, there you go.
The beauty of actually this lot for us is the customers can come down the back road there and pull right in, drop their boat off on that right side and leave, going straight out the front. It's a very simple entrance and exit when you're towing a boat. A lot of times I've been bringing our boats to service places my whole life,
Yeah.
and backing in and maneuvering is always can be tricky. And you're in a city road and you're backing up there, you're worried about traffic, and this is just pull right in, drop it off, and go. So I think my customers will have a very easy time dropping off a boat or two.
Right. So what about like marketing in the front? I mean, you could try to put a boat in front there, or is there room?
I mean, I looked at it,
Is it legal?
it would be great if we could, but I really don't think one will fit.
Yeah.
Boats are big.
Or what we would be allowed to, I don't know what.
I don't know what, we'd have to look
Yeah.
at that, I'm
The
sure.
only thing you could do is park one probably in the
One of the
furthest
spots.
left parking spot, but the Erickson guy and his sign is right there. I just don't think,
Yeah.
he wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to, I've driven by there all the time, is there a window big enough for you to showcase a boat as you're driving by, just with your sign and to see it in the window?
No,
Not
No.
really.
no.
We just want to make sure you guys are going to be able to sell boats.
Yeah, I mean.
Lots of boats.
Your presence would definitely elevate Mound's image and
Yeah.
enhance our lake lifestyle, obviously, here.
Yeah.
And you have all been such amazing ambassadors that we would feel really lucky to have you here. Yeah, yeah.
Look a little cheery.
Yeah, one especially with Malibu moving further down to 494. I mean, your presence here is perfect.
Yeah, we like our location. Everybody is fairly close by, so if someone's going to Malibu or the Mastercraft, we're
Yeah.
not very far away to come look at.
And to compare.
Right. Yep, so we feel good about the location in that respect.
Well, anybody else want to chime in?
No, you guys must have like done some sort of homework, or you mentioned keeping everything clean and organized, which we all really appreciate, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning on doing oil changes, so we'd have to follow state law for everything
Oh,
that's
yeah.
required for.
I just meant like exterior wise and all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Cutting the grass, if there is any, and keeping the weeds killed.
For sure.
We should put a boat on the roof.
I was gonna say that, and then I was like, no way, someone's gonna think. We've had crows on roofs, so we don't need any more things on
Oh, I
roofs.
loved those crows.
No comment.
I thought they were kind of
They look-
artsy.
They look fabulous back. I mean,
They
again,
look fabulous that they're not there
The boat will look just
anymore.
fantastic, and hopefully your signage will,
Yeah, get some good
Help you
signage so people know
In
you're
the
there.
front, there's some mailboxes and a couple of light poles and,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's required to do some rearranging, but at this point, we just want to make sure we're getting in the least amount of, or with the least amount of chaos and
Yeah.
just, make it as smooth as possible. So the front display isn't super big priority at this point, so.
well, hopefully
Yeah.
it happens, and welcome to Mound.
Thank you.
If it
We'd
gets
love to be
past
here.
the planning and.
This is an introduction, so yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate coming out. I think you heard, we like the idea, now we gotta work out the details, so. If you guys have any last things, otherwise we'll bring Sarah back up. Do you guys have any last comments, or?
All right.
All right, thanks again,
Good
appreciate
luck,
it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Do you wanna just, real quick, give us like next steps?
Sure.
So you said, Sarah, you said, it's zoned as like basically like a car mechanic kind of type of place?
Yes, I'll be happy to just provide some quick comments. Just as we know, we don't do technical analysis with the council introduction, but we've done some preliminary review and meeting with the proposed tenant and the property owner to kind of start sorting out the zoning and land use related items. Marine boat sales and open sales and display are both conditional uses in the mixed-use corridor district. So that means that it's planning commission review and a council public hearing. And generally speaking, the best way to describe a conditional use is a permitted use with conditions. The second part of Stewart Boat and Board's business package is that they do want to do some, what we call service-related type of work. Our code says that unless it's specifically listed as a permitted or a conditional use, it's not allowed unless you do one of two things. You either do a substantial use determination, which again is planning commission review and a council formal action but no public hearing, or an amendment would have to be applied for to create a new type of use and determining whether or not that's suitable, not just for this site, but for the entire district. Our preliminary evaluation based on the scope of what they've described to us and the definition of what we call automotive repair minor seem to be similar, and I think that's the path that the applicant is going to be pursuing, to provide for what I'm gonna call I think a very time sensitive schedule. We are looking at review by the Planning Commission at our meeting in August, and shortly thereafter scheduling the city council, and we do believe that we can do them both concurrently together, but they have to be compatible. So in other words, the conditional use permit review would be contingent that the substantial use determination would be that is an acceptable use. But that's kind of the program that we've kind of laid out. Because we are also trying to, I think, be sensitive that we're getting into the fall season, and if we can keep them on a nice schedule. That's why we were happy to be here this evening to get ahead of those applications, because this is a requirement as well. Both the property owner and the tenant have been, I think, very responsive to providing us information. I think we've got updated survey information that's coming, but stuff's been submitted as we've been kind of walking through informal to where we are tonight. So that's the game plan in terms of what the use categories and how they'll be evaluated. And if I didn't mention, minor auto repair is permitted in that district.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's allowed, but the determination of the activities that would be done with the boat and marine work that they are anticipating has to be same and similar and categories and accepted that they're compatible, and that's in the code. And we've used that process several times in recent years.
So they would come back on Monday the 3rd to planning?
Well, I
Or is it the
haven't finalized down the schedule, but preliminarily, we were thinking, if it works, that we would do planning commission review of both the CUP and the substantial use at our rescheduled meeting on August 18th.
Oh, it's rescheduled.
And then assuming that we would, and again, I don't like to assume, but based on a favorable recommendation from the planning commission, we were thinking first and foremost that we would try and hit the second meeting in August of the council, which I think is the 25th.
25th.
Or alternately, it would be the first meeting in September.
Okay.
So, we're trying to be responsive and, to time and schedules and things. We may or may not be able to hit the 25th, but I think we're gonna try.
Okay.
The only caveat being is in the event something may get held up at the meeting on the 18th of the Planning Commission, we would already have published, so we would have to republish for a second date. But again, I think that some of that'll float out here in the next couple of days as we get schedules, because we have to do mailed notice and published notice in accordance with our code.
Cool. All right. Any other questions for Sarah? All right. Well, good luck at planning.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, number 10, announcements. Councilor Pugh, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, I do have some things I want to talk about, but none of my committees have met since our last
Oh,
meeting.
okay.
So the Gillespie Board meets this Thursday,
Oh,
so I'll have something next meeting. Saturday, I spent some time at my favorite place, the farmer's market. And it was quite a joy and delight to see that people were sitting on the benches, utilizing that the market was really thriving and really lively, and everything. But I was discouraged because we have Adirondack chairs, and no one was sitting in them, and they are difficult chairs to get into. And I thought when I made the resolution, I said, something other than Adirondack chairs. And so I would like for us to see if we can replace those.
So
Or
just,
turn it back in.
there are Adirondack and there are
So
regular.
there would be an allocation.
They're both.
They're,
Yeah.
There are both.
There are both?
Yeah, because
There are
I
two
went down there with
different
my
ones?
wife and I
Yeah.
sat in both.
Okay,
And yes, the one in the Adirondack are definitely harder to get up
Right,
on. But I sat in the other one and I was like, oh, this is great.
okay,
Right
well, I
up.
didn't.
They
where
look
are the
very
other
similar.
ones?
They look very
Yeah.
similar, but they're not, they're
Okay, because
tilted
the
differently.
two I sat in
Yeah, but-
were Adirondack, and I thought, okay,
Yep.
well, then maybe.
Well,
But we did
But-
discuss getting those.
But
And we
wanted
I
both.
would,
approved that.
We wanted
wanted
both.
yeah.
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 but I think that we should not utilize, in our public spaces, we need to utilize chairs that everyone can get in and out of, and not favor style, because that's really all it is, the Adirondack. It's a style of chair, and people like the way it looks, but it's not functional for people to get in and out of. So I'd like for us to, adhere to that in the future in buying furniture for the, for public spaces. Because, we're getting requests now with the Avon Park where they want a bench for older people to be able to sit. And I think that we need to think about seating situations that everyone can utilize, being the best for all.
I appreciate that, Sherry, but I feel like we've talked about that extensively. About
Yeah.
ADA seating, and then that there would be a few seats available that may not be as comfortable for,
I don't
peop-
think that we need to have the ones that aren't comfortable, that's all I'm saying.
They're
But they
extremely
are
comfortable.
comfortable.
They are
I've had 3
Have you
back
sat in
surgeries
them?
and they were extremely comfortable.
They-
I loved
they-
it.
they are
They are comfortable. aren't
They
they?
both were good. And the picnic
Right.
tables are good too.
The picnic tables are good,
Yeah.
yeah. Although there are some problems, when you have to put your legs over and stuff on those, but there's the end seats, so that works for everyone. The other thing I wanted to note about the park was too, I was observing, sometimes after you create a park, people create their own pathways. And no one's creating new pathways. So the promenade is really used as the surface travel down to the lake and over to the baseball fields. And so our planners got that right, I think, because, by now you'd have people sort of cutting through trails, creating their own pathways, and that hasn't occurred. So I think that that's also very good. And I had one other thing, and I've forgotten what it was. But anyway, I'll end with
All right,
that.
let me know if it comes back. Councilmember McNamee,
I don't have anything today.
Councilmember Castellano,
Nothing.
Councilmember Herrick.
We had a police commission meeting. I don't think there was anything unusual in there. I still have not received the police report for tickets from the
Really?
police department. Yeah.
So
So
you're
Jesse
supposed
was
to
going
get
to
that
look into
morning.
it, but I'm assuming he just didn't get a chance to follow up, so. Anyway, yeah, other than that, I think Spirit of the Lakes went off without a hitch. Everybody said they had a good time. Fireworks were wonderful. I think we still have issues with traffic downtown due to the construction. I think they're kind of addressing that and making some changes on the fly. I'm not sure that there's been anything definitive done other than they're working on it. So I would like to make sure that we support our businesses along that road. There are people speeding through that. I did notice they put up some 20-mile-an-hour signs for a work zone, which I believe is the correct use of those signs. However, the 30-mile-an-hour signs are not covered, so we probably need to address getting those covered. But people are definitely speeding through there. So, got the
It's
same
kind
issue.
of hard to speed through there. I mean, it's just a bumpy mess.
You'd be amazed.
At least it's open.
No, not down there, up by Our Lady of the Lake and all along
Right,
where the
right,
food shop
yeah.
is and
Oh,
Langdon.
before
and-
the-
Yes.
All the
Yeah.
infrastructure. is
Before they,
started.
yeah, which as that progresses up, you're
Yeah,
right, that will
yeah.
slow them
Yeah,
down, but
that
right
does
now,
slow them down.
they're still speeding through there.
But they've done a good job at getting the new detour signs to make sure actually
Mm-hmm.
people can follow the detours, and it doesn't just stop you at Wilshire and Bartlett.
Right.
So thank you to Ryan and the
They've done a
crew
good
for
job
getting
of
that taken care of.
We are still seeing an abnormally large amount of traffic on West Edge, which I'm hoping that will subside as people get used to the new alternative route, but they're back to speeding over 30 miles an hour, so that's something I think in the future we should probably have brought up, and I think we should discuss. I know I've had several homeowners contact me, not necessarily on West Edge, that would be interested in looking at lowering our speed limit on all of our city streets, especially in the neighborhoods. So that's a bigger discussion than tonight.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope. What is it called now? Night to Unite?
Yes.
National
Oh,
Night
yeah,
Out used to be
that.
called. The second.
Fourth.
Fourth?
Fourth.
Thank you.
August 4th, yep.
Typically 5 days, 8-ish, right? Somewhere there.
Yes.
Some start at 4.
Some start at 4.
I think there's one or
Um,
two that starts at 4.
Yeah, ours is 6 to 9, so
6 to 9.
I think the police department was doing between 5 and 9 for their visits.
So if you're not doing your own party and you want to party, go contact the city and the police guys will take you around. And I did that a couple years ago. I got the ride for my life. It was, some guy was trapped under a car supposedly. And we went down West Edge, and I'm not kidding, we were speeding.
Yeah, you
We
were.
were going like 60 miles
I
an hour.
recall that.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was at your party. And then they're like, you gotta go, we gotta go. And I'm like, okay. I almost threw up. It was, I don't ever want to go that fast again. In a 30.
Do
And
you
it was
know
a
the
fa-
deadline for
it was a
signing
false
up
alarm.
parties, isn't it? Like
the
pretty
Orno.
quick?
Yeah.
For the Orno, please.
Council McEnany, the last advertisement that we posted for Facebook on it, we did not add the link because I think that they were quite full. I had heard from their communications staff that they did not plan to keep taking people to sign up. So I think that when I spoke with her about 2 weeks ago, they only had a few spots left. So I would guess it's full.
But they're not doing what?
You could sign up online to have OPD come visit
Oh,
your
yeah,
party,
uh-huh.
but I think that they were full for
Oh.
those people who wanted to specifically have OPD come out to their neighborhood.
What about the fire department, the Mound Fire
Fire
Department? Sorry.
department goes.
They kind of split them up.
They
So it's
split
pretty,
'em.
if they're full, they're full.
Okay.
Yeah, so the OPD coordinates where
Yeah.
each department should go. So that list is comprehensive of where both departments go.
Sure.
Anyway, if you want to do a ride-along with either, I would highly suggest it. It's pretty fun. Even if you do the fire.
You just
told me
If you want a
that.
slow fire truck.
Fire department's the
Don't
best
tell us
one.
not.
Not sure the fire truck would be slow either.
No, yeah. Let's see here. Any other comments from the city?
No, candidate filing closed today at 5 p.m. I think we had 4 candidates file for council for 2 vacancies and 5 candidates file for 2 vacancies on the council and 2 candidates file for 1 vacancy for the mayor.
Okay. I am going to be out. I had a work trip scheduled for Wednesday, and because of the next election, we're pushing our meeting from Tuesday, the 11th, to Wednesday, the 12th at 6. So next meeting will be Wednesday, the 12th at 6. Good luck. You'll be here, right? All right. All right, if there's nothing else.
So the meeting is still on the 12th, not the 18th. I thought we said something.
It's the 12th. Yeah, the 18th is planning.
Rescheduled planning commission.
Planning,
Yes,
okay,
19th.
okay.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Do you remember yours?
Oh, I know. I've been trying to find out, and I know that they're in process, the signage for the park. And I thought that it'd be nice for us to have an event, maybe with the Historical Society, when the signs get put up in the park.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to find out from staff when they're gonna be installed, and I'll work on
Okay.
getting people together for it.
Cool. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right, got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, we're adjourned.